January 11th, 2010. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, show 81.
What?
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
What you talking about, Willis?
Now with Yemen.
So welcome back to...
Additional Yemen. Extra
Tomorrow's War on Terror. It's the podcast.
Oh, we're not even going to do video game news now. We're just going to talk about the world.
Oh my God, there's video game news? While there's a war going on?
Well, they're already trying to give away trips to Comic-Con, so on Discovery, so...
Yeah, you can meet Adam.
Yeah,
You
you
mean
know
there are
what, Shane?
tickets available for
Apparently.
Comic-Con?
From Discovery Channel, apparently.
That's like the last place I would think would be giving away
That's
tickets to
like,
Comic-Con.
yeah,
That really blows my mind.
Watch Mythbusters, go to Comic... What?
They got Bear Grylls, the guy from Man vs. Wild, to go snag tickets.
That fucking guy.
Yeah.
B loves that guy, by the way.
He was in a line for a week drinking his own urine to survive.
Yeah. Drinking the urine of his camera crew.
No, it's
this guy
Gatorade. You'll love it.
Jeez.
It's
When
better
do
than...
we start drinking the urine? Well, I think he started a week ago.
I heard something on the news this morning about fake Gatorade bottles popping up in places, and they had the title on them, Unfaithful.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
it's
like,
a whole thing.
what?
No, it's a whole thing about Tiger Woods. 'Cause
Yeah,
he was doing the whole Gatorade
obviously,
thing.
but that was kind of funny that these are just randomly
Oh.
popping up, and now they're going to test them and make sure that they're not
Wow,
tampered with or anything.
I so didn't get that joke at all. That joke was lost on me, apparently. It was not intended for Steve.
No, Steve keeps abreast of current events.
Yeah, well.
From 5 years ago.
How many? Well, I didn't even know how many sponsors Tiger Woods had. He
God,
so and
man.
such was a sponsor of Tiger Woods. I'm like, why?
Because everybody got on that bandwagon.
I know.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, well, there's no longer a sponsor of Tiger Woods. Oh yeah, he's really hurting now.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
He's hurting so much he's at home crying and not playing golf.
he's crying and wiping his tears with $100 bills, and then throwing them,
Throwing him on the floor for his wife to whack at.
or
She doesn't go after his head again with that 9-iron.
his dogs are going after and
Or
tearing him up.
Master Higgins. You probably...
Yeah, Magnum.
Tiger, what are you doing?
Yeah.
New Tiger PI.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. You see his wife swing the club.
And the P does not stand for private, I might add.
Uh-huh.
So, to do the introductions, I am Murdock. I have
I am Borg.
I have
You will be
Brian. I
assimilated.
have Steve. And coming back for his 250th appearance on
On
Die
show
Hard Gamer
81.
Radio, we welcome back Roger, who runs GimmeAnime.com.
Yes, soon to be exclusively GimmeAnime.com. Not
Don't you have GimmeAnime.net as well?
Well, yes, we do.
And
You're not
org.
exclusive.
And org
and .co.jp.
and dot mil.
I don't think we got enough money for that.
You have a .ca? I mean, right next to Canada.
.edu.
Welcome to Gimme Anime University.
Chinese porncartoons.edu.
You know, I should probably get that just for
I think
shits and
you
giggles.
should do that. Chinese porncartoons.edu.
It's probably available.
.org. It's nonprofit.
Teaching you about Asian porn.
It's a nonprofit organization. Teach you about Chinese porn cartoons.
All right. So anything we want to add other than what we're doing right now before we actually get with the news?
No, I think we've added too much already.
All right. So first up, not that anyone cares about this game, but I thought I'd add it in here anyway.
Oh, that's good culling of topics.
Yeah, a new next-gen Guilty Gear on works for PS3 and Xbox 360, which would interest spastic children, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Those
I'm
are the
about as
only-
excited about this as I was about Blast Blue, so.
Well, yeah, it takes a special, very, very special type of person to play those types of games. Anything by Arc System Works is pretty much,
I'm just not finding myself that excited about fighting games for the most part. King of Fighters and Street Fighter are probably the only ones that really.
And King of Fighters 13, kind of a disappointment.
They changed it so drastically that I think it dropped. I think it lost a lot of its appeal. It's very hard because it's gotten so uber technical.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. So I think that's our generation is kind of losing out now. It's going to the younger generation.
King of Friday the 13th.
So are you picking up Super Street Fighter 4, Brian?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I'm a Street Fighter fan to the end.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
So, anyway, next up, Darwinia Plus for XBLA, which, does that interest anyone here?
Yeah, I've been meaning to play this game.
I've-
Krukov got me this game like 2 years ago. It's still sitting in my box.
Now you can
The
download
PC
it
box
and
at
not
home.
play it too.
I had it forever. I just haven't loaded it and played it yet.
So when are the creationists going to go after it?
Darwinia, that was like the rival planet for Earth 2, right?
No.
Oh,
Who?
Earth 2 had sand people
Oh,
that actually lived in the sand.
all right. Okay, Steve.
Yeah,
Well, they were aptly named.
it was very awful.
Yeah.
They were like sand zombies because they were all like disgusting looking, but still bipedal for some reason. So yeah,
Well, thanks for sharing.
Sandstorm.
I've
This
decided
bit
that.
of random.
Well, I've decided that all sci-fi shows where all the aliens are bipedal are actually all in the Star Trek universe because it's the only place that so far has been able to explain to me why it is that all the aliens are bipedal. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Emily.
All right.
Emily has, as of late, decided that everything has something to do with Doctor Who. I blame it all on Roger
Yeah.
because
He's
you know,
like one step shy of stalking.
I told her it's good that she got into Doctor Who after she got married. Because if she actually, as a girl, went by herself to a Doctor Who panel, she would never get out of that room.
Mm-hmm. So, next up, I'm sure there's a sonic screwdriver joke in here somewhere.
No, that's not the topic.
So, Dragon Age Origins Awakening announced, which is a add-on to Dragon Age Origins, which would be
Expansion,
awesome
Some DLC.
for people who may have gotten past the first level. Steve?
My opinion on Dragon Age is well known.
I still haven't installed it yet. I've got the RARD file.
Well,
at
you've
home.
already got a job. So really, I mean, it sort of is one of those games where either, you really like that kind of game and you're going to play it anyway, or you played it and like, this is a pretty cool game, and then after you realize you spent 6 hours in one scenario, you're moving on to something else.
I haven't got the room to install it on my hard drives. They're all full right now. I got to buy a couple new drives.
What are they full of?
Other games.
Or-
I've got 230 gig on the 250 of just games, and then my 750 is about
Is that
650
just
full
one
of video
game?
and music.
Yeah, it's one game called Lineage 2.
Remember when it was
You know
a
how many
big
games
deal
I
to
bought?
have 1 gig on your hard drive?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That was mind-boggling, and now it's like we need a terabyte at least.
Well, you need a terabyte.
I need a terabyte, but I bought like 10 games or 11 games on that Steam sale alone.
Hey,
That's
Microsoft
like
has-
30 gig gone right there.
Microsoft's let us know that we don't need more than 120 gigabytes of space.
Really?
You listen to Microsoft, well,
Apparently,
that was your first mistake.
so apparently I was is there let's see. So apparently there was a thing on Kotaku in their Talk Amongst Yourselves column about there was the Super Elite packet bundle for the 360 that was in a few markets in around Christmas, and it came with a 250 gigabyte hard drive. But now the firmware is there now to allow the update is there to allow 250 gigabyte hard drives. So if you actually go out and get yourself a 250 gigabyte hard drive and you do the boot sector hack,
Yeah.
so you can replace your
Just
drive,
move
whatever,
your old to
you
the
can
new.
actually it's like you buy the generic one, right? And then there's a utility. If you hook a thing up to your computer, you can rewrite the boot sector of a generic hard drive, so you can put it in the holder
altogether. Okay.
And so you can you can open up the holder that comes with the 360, and you can put a different drive in there because they're standard laptop drives. But you have to do a certain boot sector because it has to be a special written boot sector to do it. But then, so you can do that, and you can actually get a 250 gigabyte hard drive now. That's actually a decent sized hard drive on your 360 because of that.
But that's as big as you can go.
Well, that's as big as you go, but it's actually a good size. I mean, 250 gigabytes is a good size drive. 20 gigabytes is not a good size drive.
No.
I bumped it to 60, and I've got 35 of that filled already.
Yeah, it's just not.
So it's
good.
gonna be like another.
Yeah, but
maybe end of this year, it'll be.
How much of that is actual game stuff and not like demos and stuff like that?
I'd say at least 30 gig of it. I haven't
Really?
got that many demos. I've only got a handful of maybe like 10 or 12 of the Xbox Live Arcade demos, and that's it.
Now, have you been actually downloading the games onto your hard drive?
No.
Huh.
But I've also got a lot of Rock Band songs on there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of games on there. So I've probably got 30, 35 Xbox Live Arcade games on top of that. Downloadable content for other games.
I can't imagine how much space all the Rock Band songs would take on a hard drive.
I wish there was
If you
a
were
way
to
look at that and
download them
analyze
all.
it.
Well, most of them are on discs, so you can get a lot. You can get a lot in download.
I don't wanna-
Well, they keep keep adding to the downloads. It seems like every time I get on there, it's
Well, there's
like
something new almost
downloads.
weekly. Yeah.
It's like
I've so not.
They're
been
probably
paying attention to that at all.
they're probably putting out the 251 just because they're like, we need more room for Rock Band games.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to cart around a bunch of discs. That's what the hard drive is for, is you put it all on there. So
Well, but you still have to cart your system around unless you've got live ready and available. So.
So, next up, that's enough about Dragon Age, apparently.
Well,
What?
I mean, seriously, it really is kind of like a job, and so why do I want an expansion for my job?
I played Borderlands, and I didn't need to get the expansions for that. I got enough out of the initial game. It was like, I don't need to do any more of this, but it was fun.
It's sort of like, when you're at your job and they give you a new tasks on top of your old tasks,
Yeah.
and you're still getting paid the same. This is worse because you're having to pay to get more of a job.
And that's Steve's review on Dragon Age.
So, next up,
That pretty much sums it up.
as Steve runs to... I think we offended Steve.
Don't ever ask him about Dragon Age ever again.
Was it like Fight Club?
Apparently, the Awakening was your downfall.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's bad if you describe a game as a job.
Yeah, when it stops
mean-
being fun.
Well, I mean, there's some games that you just get that involved. I mean, Fallout 3. It seemed like a full-time chore just to get rid of all the crap that you picked up all over the place.
Yeah, you never played Warhammer, the MMO, though.
Well, no.
Fucking
and I also
seeds.
I never even played. I didn't play Eve either.
Well, that was
And if
also
that
a
was
job.
bad.
But you want to talk about
If you
something
wanted to
that
get
was
anywhere,
laid out
though.
as a job.
That's why you had a corporation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why you
why
had
it's a
somebody.
job.
Everybody did something different in there so you could speed the whole process up.
Well, you have Microsoft Excel. That means you've kind of played Eve.
Yep, it's if Microsoft Excel had 3D rendering. Oh wait, it does.
Yeah.
That is so
Never
weird,
mind.
too.
So, next up, Game Room announced. What is Game Room? Well, it's a virtual arcade room for Xbox avatars. So,
People learn anything from Sony's PS Home?
Well, they must have because you don't actually. Because I was disappointed when I found out you don't actually control your avatar wandering around.
Where does he wander?
I mean, it's through this game room area.
yeah, it's a virtual
When is he
game.
doing this?
Well, it's a virtual game room, so it's like, for those who actually remember what an arcade was, you just basically
Where we offered quarters to the video game gods.
Or put
We
up our
offered
Safeway-
libations of coin to
Or
the
put up our
video game
Safeway
gods.
cards.
Well, according
Yeah,
to my
button.
description here, users will be able to customize their arcade rooms with Microsoft Banana Dollars and
I see.
challenge friends to a plethora of original arcade versions of games such as Centipede, Outlaw, and Star Raiders, even though I don't remember there being a arcade version of Star Raiders.
Well,
Is this going to be like a communal thing? Can you invite another avatar into your game room and then go
Yes,
head to head playing a game?
yeah, you can play head to head on some of these.
Ah,
Now, the other
okay.
thing is, though, that the way that it's set up is that you can also you can choose which arcade cabinet you get
Huh.
through the variations. And
Curious
you were
to
talking
see,
about
what the options are. Will you be able to go all the way from a cocktail and cabaret up to the full stand?
I don't know if it's that detailed.
but they're also going to have they're going to have like console setups like the demos used to be, or if you're playing something like from the Atari, yeah, like a kiosk, but it's specifically for Pitfall, or they've got stuff for Intellivision games.
That's
I don't remember stand-up kiosks for Intellivision.
You'd have to take a look at it. I was watching.
I saw the video,
videos.
but I don't remember those things being there.
I don't remember
in real
kiosks
life.
being
Not
used until like Nintendo, really. But
Well, the Play Choice 10.
that wasn't a kiosk, though. That was a full arcade.
Well, yeah.
But there
No,
was
he's talking like the demo kiosk where you could see the
Oh,
game system inside of it. And
I
the
remember
cartridge.
seeing
Yeah.
them. I remember seeing them for the old Atari 2600.
Huh.
But
I
no
think
stand-up.
Sears had them
There
set
wasn't
up.
a stand-up version of Yar's Revenge. Basically, what we're getting at.
Yeah, Hey, what happened to the thing where Microsoft wasn't going to do the points anymore? Did they just kind of drop that and they're not going to do it now? or
I
what's the
guess
deal?
not. They're still with banana dollars, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, I'm looking at this going, wait a minute, what happened to the we're not going to do points anymore?
Who knows?
Or it was going to be an even amount, so you could decipher it without having to go 400 points. That's $5.
Well, I mean, I got to wonder if somebody at Microsoft came along to my thought of thinking of it's better to have the points so that we get the money anyway, and they might not spend it. So after we have 300,000 people that have 5 cents on their account still, that's
that's what Sony does.
it's 300. It's $3,000 that we
Well,
get.
they don't need to make it down to the cents size. It should just be like 500 points is $5. It just means the same thing straight across. You don't have to worry about.
Well, but they want it
leftover.
to be cent size though, because then they can make everything be non-odd types, and so they get this
But that's
money
what made
left
it
over.
so confusing for PlayStation. That's what's, I think, screwy on their end. I don't think you'd want to make that kind of a screwball.
Well, you can do it if you don't screw up the rest of your marketing stuff, like so.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. First they have to put out a good home system or whatever. Then they can worry about
get a good live system, and then we'll talk about screwing people over with monetary currency.
Yeah, but an
converters.
online fact sheet for this says that the game room itself will be free, but the games will cost money.
Huh.
So $5 for a dual license purchase of arcade classics, $240 banana dollars for single platform license, and 50 cents or 40 Microsoft points for 2 quarters worth of play. Users can try arcade titles for free within a friend's room. Why aren't these people using MAME?
Because they're casual
It's not
gamers.
convenient.
Well, no,
You
I
can't
think
invite
that
a friend in to play MAME unless he's at your house.
They're
Yeah,
they're
there is
casual
that.
gamers.
there is that.
Casual gamers.
That
We
would be
hate
kind of
those
cool if
people.
you could LAN or throw up Hamachi or something and play MAME games online. That would be an interesting concept.
You can. It's called MAME.
You could do that with a friend at their house and then you at your house and play MAME over online.
That I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's
Yeah.
like the only thing MAME can't do right now is play 2-player across the internet.
Yeah, you know what? All right, this thing can't do? Play Trio the Punch.
Nobody can play Trio the Punch.
You can with MAME.
That's not a good argument, Steve.
I was
Yeah,
going to
you-
say that.
I'm
All-
throwing crap out and seeing what sticks here. Murdock.
Although
Not
online,
sticking, but it left an ugly smell.
online emulators, Daphne, which is a Laserdisc emulator, that probably won't be in Game Room anytime soon. So, playing Dragon's Lair,
What about Hollow Fight?
Cobra Command.
that was a hard game.
Yeah.
It was a
Panic?
freaking hard game.
Choplifter.
Yeah.
That and Defender.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay $5 for Defender on the Xbox arcade. Yeah,
That's almost worth just pulling out your old system, hooking it up to an RF somewhere, and blowing out the cartridge.
or going to MAME.
That too.
Yeah. So next up, Natal, coming out late 2010. Uncoordinated White People Rejoice. I just have this here because
Because you got to pick on white people because you're prejudiced, right?
Yes.
You have self-loathing.
I
Loathing?
self-loading.
Self-loafing.
He's got Sarah and loading in Denver.
Gonna make a sandwich out of myself.
He's afraid of counting bread.
Yeah,
I see Natal, and all I think of is like a women's baby room, like a natal thing going on.
Some sort of thing. It pumps breast milk or something.
Hey, now there's an attachment I'd like to see.
It really does seem like
we're going to tell you what sex your baby is.
Some sort of maternity accessory.
It doesn't matter.
Oh God! So once
Let me
again,
just attach this trans vibrator.
Trans vibrator. It's at a different multiplier than normal vibrator.
No, it's called playing Res on Xbox 360.
Uh-huh.
So next up, Square Enix says Japanese retail prejudice against Western games.
No,
Really?
Yeah.
when the hell did that happen?
Surprise.
Oh, Japanese retailers don't like selling Western games? That's a real big shock. Yeah.
Well, if you saw the article though on Kotaku,
Shh! You're injecting research into this.
he specifically, the person they interviewed said it's not that the gamers don't like it; it's the actual
the retailers
themselves that shy from it. So it's
Well,
not
because
a matter of,
they don't think that the consumers are going to buy it, so they don't stock it because they're
buy a handful of titles and see. I mean, look how well Gears did over there, and
well,
Halo.
They do buy it. They don't buy enough, and so
Yeah.
it's a chicken and the egg problem.
yeah.
Plus, Xbox 360 doesn't have a large footprint in Japan, so
Yeah, it's kind of hard to sell a lot of games when you don't have a lot of systems.
yeah.
those are hard to sell when you don't have people selling the games.
Although I'm wondering if the Xbox 360 is doing poorly in Japan because Japanese are like, this is an American system. I don't think I want to buy this.
Yeah.
Well, part of it is that they want what they're used to, and because every time they try some of the other Western games like Halo, like Gears, like Grand Theft Auto, they start looking. It's like, hey, this is kind of fun, but they don't make that initial jump. It's the problem.
Famitsu has to give it a 40 before they'll play it. So
This is true.
The whole system is biased against import games for the most part. That's just it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Every aspect of it is biased, so it makes it really hard for the
So
consumer to have any interest.
So if Halo was more linear and more like a Japanese RPG, oh wait.
yeah.
No,
If Squeenix did Halo, then it'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
If Halo was menu based
If Cortana had really, really giant boobs and
they jiggled
and looked like a guy,
and she wore a schoolgirl outfit.
had ambiguous sexuality, or if
belts and zippers everywhere.
If Master Chief had ambiguous sexuality, then it would have been
so
big
you're
time awesome.
So it would have sold better if Master Chief was Bishonen.
Yes, Bishi Chief.
either that or he
Bishy,
needed to be
Bishy
about
Chief.
40 feet tall to be a giant mecha.
Yeah.
If Master Chief looked like a Gundam,
If Master Chief was a 40-foot tall, ambiguously gendered mecha, it'd be gold, Jerry. Gold.
Jerry. Okay.
Gold.
All right.
Moving right along.
So you're the worst moderator ever.
You say that every episode.
And it's right every episode.
But you're worth $1 million Ameros.
That's worth more than $1, actually. That's kind of sad. So Nintendo.
Don't spend it all in one place.
You got to find somebody to buy them from you.
Yeah. So Nintendo says Zelda Wii in 2010 and new handheld in the works. This is under the obvious.
yeah.
So
handheld Wii.
Yep. So file this under obvious. A sequel to a successful franchise and a sequel to a successful platform.
Get it out of your mind, mister.
Yeah.
Leave that in the gutter.
So then the new DS is coming out later this year, which is that was it the DS? Was it like the LL or something?
Oh, the LL was the extra large.
Yeah. And then I guess they're going to come up with another one after that.
Well, they learned from Sony.
Well,
you just put out a new
DSLL,
version of it every year.
Oi, oi.
Oy vey.
The DS Wii,
Hitting the Jewish market as well.
so
where you waggle you waggle the entire thing.
it'll be 4 screens.
It's immersive.
Click, click.
It'll be like a Rubik's puzzle.
No, you'll flip the top up, and then you'll have to grab the middle and flip the sides out. You look like some
It's many like Rubik's rings, except it's a. There's gonna be a helmet with LCD screen on the inside.
Yeah, then you like hang the thing on your head. Yeah.
Yeah. So, 99 Nights 2 has been confirmed to North America. This would have interested John, but
I
John
thought we already did this.
Yeah, John's kind of sick with the Bolivian monkey flu or something like that.
Yeah. Last time he goes to Bolivia.
Yeah.
Eats with monkeys.
Yeah. So, Xbox Live officially heading for mobile phones, which is awesome because we needed to get access to Xbox Live on our phones.
Yeah, I really want to believe there's a reason that I should use this, but I don't know what it is.
Target audience,
other
not
than
us, apparently.
Unless you're going to want to, like, hey, check out my gamer score.
Well,
I don't understand.
I was at lunch, and I wondered, what's my gamer score?
Yeah, you know how you do that? You go to a website, you go to a browser and type in xbox.com.
I was talking to a girl at Starbucks,
you
and
can
she said,
do on your phone.
"Well, we can go out sometime, but I need to know what your gamer score is." And luckily, I had.
I got to know your street cred.
Yeah. I need to know your player zone.
Yeah.
Are you recreational? Are you underground?
Yeah.
What games do you have in your virtual game room?
Yeah.
Can I come over to your virtual
the
game
day
room
I meet
and
a
play?
girl that's looking for that.
You're married right then and there.
Yeah,
you'll drop to your
hand
knee.
over my wallet, my car keys, and be done with it. You are a god.
Brian Jones is marriage counselor, a Stephen J. Canal production.
Yeah.
So,
PI.
PI. What's the PI stand for, Steve?
Personally interested.
Proton injection.
What does that even mean?
Proton injection?
Yes.
When you take the protons and you inject them.
Versus the neurons and the electrons, which don't get ejected. They're rejected.
You have to inject them before you accelerate them.
Okay.
I think when you do inject them, they're already accelerated.
Well, good. Then ghosts, be aware.
All right.
I think they've got momentum at that point. They're heading for her neuron. Yeah. Moving right along.
All right.
Not neurons.
Please send all bad pun complaints to Brian, care of Diehard. Okay. So Metroid Prime Trilogy no longer being shipped, and this is because it's doing poorly, and apparently people are only buying crap games.
Were they going to drop it from the air?
No, they're not being stocked anymore because they're saying, hey, look, we're not selling them or something. I mean, they're...
Well, did you really need to have a trilogy packed together?
The argument online is that, hey, look, here's an actual...
Online?
Well, not a really argument. It was just more of just
three good tastes that go great together.
Yeah. It was basically people saying, well, we have this quality game, which, the Metroid Primes are quality games, and they drop the quality games, and yet there's, all these mini-game collections online, so they're on the Wii, so they're like, well, why are you ditching a quality game and allowing all this crap to keep coming out on Wii?
Yeah, they do seem to be, and they kind of started it after Sony did with the PS1 and PS2. They seem to be taking up the lead with just letting anybody that can make a game
except
onto the system.
Except that all the quality stuff was coming out on the PS1 and PS2 first, and then the shovelware started coming out. The Wii is now nothing but shovelware.
Yeah.
It has been from day one, and there hasn't really been anything quality.
Get that one or two AAA titles.
Well, yeah.
But I think John actually...
That's it.
I think John wanted the shovelware, but...
Well,
he wanted the shovelware game. Shoveling game, but
and speaking about shovelware, there was rumors going on that like Target and a bunch of these other retailers are saying, you know what, if you're going to come out with a Wii game that's nothing but a bunch of, which is basically a mini game collection, we're no longer going to carry it. So don't even bother taking it to a store.
Well, they don't have the space for that kind of retail.
Well, not only, I'm sure they're not selling.
Target, no.
You look at how small their game space is now.
Well, they could if they'd stop selling the shitty guitars and keyboards right next to them.
Well, there's that.
Everybody's got
the 5 million Wii attachments that no one ever uses.
Yeah. Well, do they get?
The same
I think they get a better markup on the peripherals than they do the actual games themselves.
I don't
know. A lot of those peripherals are priced pretty low.
I don't think the markup's that much.
Well, I mean, like the little
It's
plastic
gotta be
steering
better
wheel
than-
thing is $11 or something ridiculous like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So that you would get more profit off a peripheral than you would actual software?
But you
Well, I
have
don't
a
know.
better chance of selling games like that might require or make the peripheral might make it more fun. So it's more of an
Wow.
accoutrement to the game sale.
Beats the hell out of me. You're asking the wrong guy. Ask
Yeah.
this guy, because it's not. Wii is not my target market at all.
Well, that's part of
So-
what the Wii was, though. When
You're
it
just
first
not
came out,
interested
is
in the Wii, huh?
Why aren't you?
You're damn straight.
that was
So
the
am
big.
I.
That was the big push when the Wii came out. Was you started seeing all these oddball things, like you saw that package that had the handle for the tennis racket and the baseball
but
bat.
that's
and,
just.
well, yeah,
they're
but
just
that
making
helps
crap
sell
ju-
the games though,
well,
because it makes it more stupid and
You
silly.
know what?
looking when you're playing the
I
game.
think that stuff is just targeted to clueless people that are like, well, we must have this to make our video game experience.
Look how big your audience is for the Wii, though. There
Yeah,
is
we're
no
talking about a bunch of
non-market,
moron-
though.
yeah,
you can get
we're
a bunch of
talking about a
60-year-olds buying these things. You can get kids that are asking for the things. It doesn't matter anymore. Everybody will buy them at some point.
What?
Casual.
And what's a casual game?
A casual gamer? A casual gamer is the type of
Sports?
person that buys little handle for their Wii so they can play tennis.
Is that what they're calling that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, morons!
It's me, a moron.
It's a
Oh God, did you see that in Assassin's Creed 2?
Yeah,
When your cousin, your uncle Mario comes on.
yeah, and your Italian cousin Mario comes up in Assassin's Creed 2 and is like, "Hey, it's me, Mario."
And if you listen right after that, when you get coins out of the boxes, they start sounding like the Mario coins. I
Yeah.
swear to God, I was like, that's almost the same sound effect, come to think of it.
I don't know if that's an homage or I don't know.
Depends upon if you
It's
like it
gotta
or
be.
not.
Yeah. It's got to be. Somebody
By
had to put that
the
in
way,
there.
Assassin's Creed 2, a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I think
Huge improvement from the first one.
I don't visually and graphically, yeah, but I think the gameplay has become harder because the auto control on when you run and you automatically grab for the nearest thing, I think it's too touchy. Yeah, I will sometimes be running down a rooftop and I'll just jump off the roof. And I'm like, I wasn't aiming for that. I was aiming for the pigeon thing, but it went on its own
I've never had a
direction.
problem with that.
I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes it seems like if you're not pointing exactly in the right direction you're supposed to be, when you're doing something, it just auto-detects whatever's nearest and goes to it. And it's gotten me killed a couple times, and it's just annoying.
Never had that problem. So
I'm a little more free-running than you, though, I think.
Yeah, I just got to the point. It's like, oh shit, stealth missions. I hate this. So,
Very, very quiet.
I love the stealth missions because it's just like bringing me back to Tenchu. It's like, gotta follow, sneak from a distance, hide behind this, grab some whores in a circle, and
No, these are like stealth missions that if you get caught once, you're desynchronized and you have to start all over.
Oh
again.
yeah, it's happened to me. Trust me.
Very, very quiet.
gotta
I'm
learn the
hunting
route.
Italians.
Hey, look, there's a whole country full of them. Who would have thought?
So next up, Blizzard authenticators may become mandatory, which would interest Steve.
Not really, because I don't really play WoW, but it is somewhat interesting that
Authenticators?
accounts they're basically soft tokens. They're like the RSA tokens for VPN.
Okay.
They're like those, except they're soft token versions, which is what a lot of people go to anyway in the corporate world. And they're doing it because people pick such shitty passwords for their WoW accounts that they get hacked really easily. And so if you make them actually use the two-factor authentication thing where you have to have a username and something, probably if it's a three-factor authentication, it'll be a username and then it'll be this RSA thing, or I don't know if RSA is doing it, but this token, and then a PIN or something.
Yeah.
And you
So
have
that
to,
should
and
be
all
more
three
secure
have
than
to be.
PayPal.
Well, PayPal is really great so long as you don't get mine getting ripped off by PayPal once in a while.
Hey, my account got hacked. I believe it's entirely possible.
So they say the authenticators function the same as ones provided by most banks. In order to log in, you must generate a number on the external device. Blizzard already provides a free iPhone app that functions as an authenticator.
Yeah, the hardcore guys already use that.
That makes a lot of sense to me, to having a separate second peripheral that you can do something to authenticate. That seems like a much more.
It'll be great. It'll be great until the token gets desynced. And then it doesn't work, and you're like, fuck. Yeah, call somebody up and they can be like, "What's the token say now?" And then you wait a minute for it to change. What does it say now? And you wait for it to change. All right, now it should be resynchronized. God help you
Like
if the
setting
ping
in a
gets
fucking
corrupted.
elevator. Yeah.
Ours is really awful because when the ping gets corrupted and you have to reset it, it takes like 6 hours for it to be reset, even though you're setting it on the server.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you're like,
wow. There's going to be some people that are going to be pissed.
Well, that's why I tell people when I'm like,
Yes.
I'm going to reset your token. Don't expect it to work until tomorrow.
Can you wait till the end of the day? I got work to do.
Well, it doesn't work for him already, so.
Oh yeah.
If it already doesn't work, then
matter.
you know,
Well, there's a half a day shot.
it can either never work again, or
Yeah. So next up, M.U.L.E comes back. We didn't know it left.
kick ass.
It's real
So-
slow.
No.
Got Jack for short.
Yeah.
M.U.L.E, that was a mud software, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
You remember playing M.U.L.E back in the day, right?
No.
Did you
Yeah,
play
I kind
M.U.L.E,
of forgot about
Raj?
it too.
Don't look at me.
Uh,
I didn't do any sort of online like that
mm.
until after I moved to Denver. That was just barely.
Ah.
It's good to know it never left.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
Where
missed
did it
apparently.
not go?
Yeah. So next up, Ron Jeremy says games a bigger negative influence than porn.
He's one to speak. God, I trust Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
So-
Ron, we trust.
So Jeremy insisted that the industry only caters to the over 18 crowd. We don't want kids to watch porn. Wink,
Bullshit.
wink, nudge, nudge.
That's
Though
why
if-
it's everywhere.
Though if they do, he added, there are far worse influences out there like video games. And then he says studies have found that violent video games are much bigger and a negative influence on kids. And I added citation needed.
I didn't know Ron Jeremy was a Republican.
You'd be surprised how many porn stars are conservative,
Many
at least financially.
both of these mediums encourage hand-eye coordination. So yeah, I really think it's a benefit both of them.
Really?
I think we just need some interactive
Do you-
porn
do you-
games. And
Do you have
it'll
case
squash.
studies involving this, Steve? Were you
No.
wearing a lab coat at the time?
Well, I may have been. It's entirely
Stand
possible.
back! I'm going to perform
Science.
Science.
Men turning things and squeezing things.
So
Brewing.
So do we have anything on Ron Jeremy's idiotic comment?
I think Ron's just trying to hide the ugly truth of porn by pushing the blame onto something else.
It's the ugly truth of porn. More like
I think he got
Ron
burned by
Jeremy.
a-
Well, he was trying to.
Ron Jeremy's not looking too good these days. He's sort of a walking hairball. So
Yeah, but he's still getting
I
laid.
think he
He's
got
still
burned,
getting.
by a game of Super Mario by somebody or something. He's just never.
Well, he
never
just
looked
did a
back.
big commercial for video games.
I'm sure I'm sure
Fairy
this is
Tale
from.
Fights or something like that.
I'm sure this is from AVN,
really would have been
and
to see this.
somebody, whoever it was at AVN, came up and said, "Don't you think this sort of thing is bad for the children?" And he's like, "Listen, I got to get to a party, but let me tell you something that'll get you out of my way."
And he was
Well,
probably
he's gonna-
half drunk at the time.
Well,
anyway,
he's
so.
what he's gonna do is he's gonna pick the one other thing that gets the parents groups up in arms. You've got porn
Yeah,
and
that's
you've got
right.
violent video games.
I really doubt that he put that much thought into this comment.
Yeah,
I'm sure this was a passing comment by Chris Hansen wandering around at
He's at the AVN.
Yeah, Chris
Excuse
Hansen.
me,
I'd
could
be
you sit
surprised if
over
Chris
here?
Hansen wasn't at the AVN, and I'm telling you, not in the press way.
Uh-huh. Well,
Nobody's that against sexual activity and isn't a fruitcake in bed.
were you wearing a lab coat at the time when you discovered this?
Yes. Yes.
This
All
nugget?
righty then.
Okay. Right. So, next up, enough of that. Care or Don't Care, our yearly feature on things. So, Darksiders, do we care or don't care about that?
Initially, I didn't, and now I kind of feel like I should.
Really?
I kind of feel a little interested in it too, but I don't know why. I need to try a demo or something.
I'd like to see a demo, or maybe I'll rent the game. It's not high on my list.
Yeah.
I've already got Dante's Inferno, which I think I'd rather get.
But this is an homage
as opposed to a ripoff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at first I saw this
cheese.
I saw this. It was on. This started showing up on late night TV on Adult Swim, and I'm like, going, "What the hell is this game? Never even heard of this game before." And they were playing it like alternating commercial breaks with Bayonetta commercials. And then I'm like, "Okay, I never heard of this game before. Whatever." And then I hear all these people going, "Hey, this game is really cool, and it's actually pretty fun." And it's, I'm like, "Okay, so wait, am I supposed to care about this game now? I mean, is this something that I'm supposed to be paying attention to?"
Post-apocalyptic hell and angels and come on.
I don't really know what it is.
I mean, I'd been watching game trailers, has been following it.
Yeah.
I get their 360 podcast, so I'm sort of interested in it. It looked kind of cool. Like I said, it's
Still
probably
need to try a demo and see
it's
if
it's either a rental or it's when the price drops significantly. But I'm also interested. I mean, they've got Mark Hamill doing his crazy voice again, so that's always kind of fun. But I've got other games I think I'd rather pay.
That's Cockknocker?
Yes, Cockknocker.
Oh, okay. So kind of care about Darksiders. I'd never even heard of the game until like a week ago.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
wait a
talking
minute.
about it off and on for about 9 months.
Yeah.
They just keep throwing little things out there. Nobody's been doing any like full blown articles.
Oh, it's too little is what the problem was.
Yeah,
it's like I'd never heard of this game before. What the hell is this? Like Darksiders, like Emily was saying. There's a bunch of people that are like proto-goths. They aren't really goths, but they're kind of like dressed in dark and have little makeup on and stuff.
I think this is where they failed, is they were trying to do something viral maybe, and they just didn't get enough information out there, so they couldn't build up interest. But you always heard about it, and you remember it in the back of your mind, but you didn't know what it was about, so it was kind of a fail.
Like Prison Tycoon 3.
Yeah.
How's that working for you, Steve?
That was never in the back
Not
of my mind,
well.
I can say. Working? I wouldn't say working.
Yeah, Steve has to downgrade to Windows 3.11 to work to run it.
Yeah.
So
it runs in DOS shell.
So next up, Alan Wake. Do we even care about that?
This is another game that I feel like I should know. This is another game I feel like I should care about, but I don't know anything about, and I keep thinking that it's I haven't really
use your words, Servo.
I've seen a couple of screenshots, but I haven't seen any videos for it. But God help me, every time I see it, I think, is Alan Alda in this video?
No,
Yeah, you just see him popping out of the water, all Rambo-like.
Yeah.
But like I said, again, been seeing it on the game trailers podcasts, and apparently this game's been in development for like years.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if it was original Xbox or PS2 or where it was started at. But
it's like the same people that did Max Payne, right? That's what I heard.
I
heard
don't
it
know.
was the same.
I'd believe that.
It reminds me. I mean, I'm looking at it. It reminds me more of something like a Silent Hill or something like that. It's
supposed to be
game.
like a film noir like game.
Yeah, it's a mystery game.
Was that the Alan Wake, or was there? I thought there was another one that came out that was Rain something or.
Oh, there's supposed to be ones like Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain, yeah, that one's the one I'm kind of interested in, especially after seeing there was like a video footage released early this year or last year. It was early the beginning of last year where they showed the video quality and all the facial expressions, and I was like, that really looks interesting just for the time they put into it. So I'm looking forward to Heavy Rain more so.
So 2 games that Steve thinks he should be caring about.
It's like these games I feel like I should have known something about.
Because he's an Alan Alda fan.
Alan Alda fan. It's like that radio. It was what was it in? It was in Futurama. It was the Alan Alda robot. That like has the melancholy and the glib.
So next up, Lego Universe, the Lego MMO, which I'm sure you're interested in, Steve, huh?
Apparently there's a trailer for it that makes it look really good or something like that. Not really sure how that can be, but.
I don't know if it's anything like the Lego games where you can stand around and beat people up and knock them into blocks. I'm all for that.
Yeah, you can take blocks and build anything you want. It's your universe.
Yeah,
The premise sounds kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see what you can do. And
Yeah. Well, the only problem is it
They're
sounds
like
we're
4-year-olds.
all going to try and build, I don't know, Lego penises or something like that.
Oh, it's going to be
Well,
Second Life.
Then you're all gonna get banned.
think
because
it's
Yeah,
just
we're gonna get
small.
banned.
Mine's
You're all
gonna
gonna
be
get banned because
giant
it's marketed to
space
8-year-olds.
penis.
What's the skill tree going to be like? You start off at level 1 and you're just with Duplos,
Yeah.
and then you you just go up to like normal Legos,
Yeah.
and then by the time you're level 25, you're at like Techniques.
Yeah.
yeah, I built a V8.
Yeah, then you move on to Lego logo, and so there's like a little Lego turtle that you have to move around that'll draw the floor plan for the thing that you're going to make.
Very slowly.
So no interest in Lego Universe, huh?
Kind of a sit and wait.
Yeah. It's kind of a meh.
And will
It's
it have a
smart.
monthly fee?
It's going to be, of course it will, unless you pay for blocks.
You pay per block. There you go.
Oh,
It's micropayments.
Oh man, this could be fun when you're drunk. How the hell did I end up with 25,000 blocks? Why is my bank account empty?
I could see that. I'm waiting for the Kotaku article on that. So Army of Two, the 40th day, which
Another game that I feel like I should care about.
You know, I didn't really like the control.
was that
on
your
the first
response
one.
to Army of Two?
I just was never impressed.
The game visually looked cool, and I wanted to be. I think the problem was I played it right after Gears of War, and I wanted it to be more like that. And the control was just so odd.
Yeah.
I tried to sit there with Walker and play it, and I just didn't like the control at all.
Are you sure it just wasn't because you were playing with Walker?
No, I pretty much figured out at the end of the game it wasn't. I mean, because you need each other in the game to survive. You can't play alone. You've got to you're running back and forth helping each other. It's kind of like World at War, but Call of Duty World at War. But the control is just so weird for me. I don't know. I think maybe that wasn't the only thing, but that was the big thing for me. So, and you come from playing another game like Gears of War, and then you move to this.
Well,
it's hard
tell
to
me
go
about
from
it.
one
I
to the
went
next.
I stopped playing Fallout 3 for a little while because I was, tired of gray. And I picked up Tomb Raider Underworld really cheap. And going from a first person to 3D or third person and just completely different control set kind of throws you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm having the same problem going. I was playing Assassin's Creed 2, and then I hopped on and did some Gears of War one night with some friends. And
Like, why can't I grab on this wall?
it's hard too because I've got my left to right switched, like your flight stick gets switched up and down. I got that inverted. I got the left to right inverted on Assassin's Creed 2. I've gotten so used to that. I go back to Gears of War, and it's totally set in Gears to be the opposite, where you look left and you push left, and I'm looking the wrong direction trying to run, and I'm like, oh god, my brain's hurting.
Can't you flip horizontal in yours?
You probably can, but when you're in the middle with about 4 other players, and you're just, it's like I don't have time. I can't even I can't even stop and go to the options. My head is hurting.
Yeah, I ended up having a similar experience when I went from Assassin's Creed 2 to Bayonetta. And just
that might be just trying to keep track of everything that's on the screen.
Well, there is that. It's not.
I mean, it's a good
not a stealth game.
but damn.
Yeah, it's little busy in places.
That's another game where I'm not gonna buy it right off, but I'll probably get it when it drops down to 29 or 39. I don't know. I'll probably buy it used even.
I've still got a couple of downloaded contents for Fallout 3 left, and
yeah.
Well, you got the Game of the Year edition, so you still have like 3 or
well, no, I've already got
4. Isn't
I've already gotten through Broken Steel, and
you've got the Pit, and what
I
was the last
started
one?
on the Pit, but I decided I didn't particularly want to play that one.
That's probably not. I've heard that's the least favorite of the ones that were released.
And then there's the
there's Point Lookout and
Point Lookout was supposed to be pretty good.
And Mothership and
Mothership Zeta.
I was saving
Operation
Mothership.
Anchorage.
I've already done Operation Anchorage. I've been saving Mothership for the last.
That's a good idea.
So, but yeah,
Broken Steel or whatever.
Well, Broken Steel loads up automatically once you quote unquote clear the game.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I would
that you had hit
wandered.
the ending.
Well, I kind of figured I'm sitting here going, wait, what? No, there's supposed to be more after this. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh. And then I didn't realize that was DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of a really frustrating ending. But anyway.
All right. So that's enough for care or don't care. We have a bunch of games that Steve thinks that he should be buying at some point or playing at some point.
I just feel like I should care about them. Or I should have known about them
Maybe
or
we'll
something.
Just wake up, it'll be like an epiphany.
Yeah.
I gotta buy this game.
It's like, what have you been doing that you don't know about these games? But,
yeah.
So next up, we have Steve's Star Trek Pontification, Episode 24, The Best of Both Jesus, Part 2.
The
So,
Q continuum continues.
So, Steve, how's that Star Trek coming along?
all I know is there's way too much pre-order bonuses for this game.
I know. Every day I see
It's
somebody else
really-
selling it with something else.
It's really jumped the shark.
Oh,
I think Best Buy
really
got kind of
has.
gypped on
Is
it
it-
because
now,
they're
is there-
actually offering free reward zone points if you buy it. And it doesn't
Atari
seem-
doesn't have anything. If you
Yeah.
download it from Atari, you don't get anything extra. It's
that
like,
might
what?
be the best way to go.
It's
Oh,
very-
you got to get something free now. Almost everybody's offering something free. You kind of feel obligated to buy it from somebody with
Well,
something.
I don't know. I really kind of wonder if they're shooting themselves in the foot with this because since it's going to be a single shark game, I can't even imagine the number of people that are going to be trying to log into this game on day one. I mean,
Yeah, it's probably going to be like
all
wait
in
till
their
the end of
red
the first
shirts
week
and their Star Trek ears, and
I mean, it was the Star Wars launch was pretty bad. I mean, it was laggy to the extreme, and it was a sharded game.
So there was no reason unless just too many people got
Well,
on
isn't,
one server and didn't know it.
Isn't the Star Trek MMO like you can start off by like being a commander or something like that?
Well, you're a captain. You're a captain if you're in control of a ship, but your rank isn't necessarily captain. But you are a captain by position.
Okay.
So you can be captain of a skiff
Or a freighter.
or something.
Or an escape pod.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Captain of the
offering
escape
weird
pod.
extras though. Like I noticed Steam was offering the free NX class.
They are, but they're like the stuff on
and the
Steam. I still
trilobite
don't
or
get.
the,
Well, you can be a trill, and it tells you about how
Trill.
you can benefit from the ages, the many ages of the lifetimes of your hosts. Okay, in what way do I benefit by that? Is this a stat bonus thing?
it better
'Cause
be
if
like
this
some
is a stat
experience
bonus
bonus
thing,
or something. Yeah.
but why would they not tell you that?
Is there a Wikipedia article in like all the
There
different...
was a Wikipedia article of all the things. I think it's in a different article
Ooh.
by itself now.
Cool.
But
Wow.
But initially it was, and it was a good page and a half of this has got this, and this has
Lord.
got this.
And
I mean,
attached
there's like
spreadsheet.
It's like 3 dozen different bonus items that you can get depending on where you buy it from.
Everybody wants a piece.
The
of
limited
Star Trek.
edition will be the one you download that doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah, the one that's,
Truly limited. Yeah.
yeah.
well, I guess in terms of the official publisher for this is actually Atari, and ironically they're the one that doesn't have any bonuses for it.
Well, they gave them all away.
Yeah.
They have to create a new bonus just for themselves, apparently.
Are they?
Well, they're just trying to make sure that everybody else sells it for them. That's
Well,
what
they
it
probably
is.
are not worried about selling it themselves.
Yeah,
There's so many people out there selling it. Let them sell it with their pre-order stuff. And
Well, I guess
Just
Atari
go
has
butt
its
wild.
own download, like its own Steam service. Apparently, so they're selling it off that too.
Or they could have just been smart and just say, "Hey, Steve,
This thing's
can
going
you
to
hold
sell
this for
itself, man. You don't need to. I mean, they could offer it with
Yeah.
no bonus stuff, and it would still sell. So
us?" Yeah, that's true.
that may be another reason why they're so liberal with all the download stuff. Is
Well-
they know it's going to sell regardless of who has it, so they'll just throw a bunch of stuff out there. and
Well,
let
no,
people-
what they're trying to do is they're trying to get something past the. Well, there's two type of people that are gonna immediately grab this. One is the hardcore MMO players, the ones who join up with every MMO.
hoping it's be the next big thing, and,
And-
they're the first in the gate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right out of the gate.
and there's going to be the Trekkies they're going to grab it regardless.
That's going to be your hardcore group right there. Is the ones that want to believe they can finally play the game and be in the
Yeah.
universe.
Well, just like the Star Trek, excuse me,
I think
Star
you're going to
Wars
see more
fans.
of those
Yeah,
joining.
it didn't really work out
versus
well for
MMO.
Star Wars.
But what they're trying to catch is they're trying to catch people outside of that. So that's why I think that they're offering all these extras.
I don't think most people know what the extras are or how they work.
Well-
though.
Well,
I think
you know
it's
you
what's
have to
the
go
ironic
to a
thing about this?
Wikipedia article to find them.
The
Well, no,
ironic
yeah, that too. But I
thing
mean, I don't
about-
think most normal people even know
Well,
what that
I'm
means. you know?
I'm thinking gamers. They're not the hardcore MMO players. They might be somebody who's like, hey, I kind of like Star Trek, even though I'm spending
Well,
most of my time on WoW.
And that's the weird thing is, okay, so if we're going to get these people that aren't really Star Trek fans and they're not really hardcore MMO people, there's no bonus content from from Trek 2009. It's all the TNG and TOS stuff. It's like,
Well, there's a
well,
lot
why
of
would
people.
you do that?
Maybe
Because
they're
you're going to
saving
get
that for later.
you're going to get the Star Trek fans, the old Star Trek fans. You're going to get with the old content. But if you're going for outside of that audience to pull in people that aren't hardcore gamers or aren't hardcore Trekkies, why would you not put in bonus content from the most popular Star Trek movie that's ever been made?
Well,
I bet that's down the road. I bet they just don't want to shoot their wad at once. They want to have stuff that keep giving you.
Okay, are they actually putting in anything involving the new movie?
No, and it's an alternate timeline off of the basically I think it's
they really haven't built
post-insurrection.
The problem
or
is
something like
the problem is that they haven't built that universe really. We don't know what everything else because if you're in one universe, Vulcan is there, and the other one it's gone.
Well, but there's a lot of stuff you can do without
enter into the game.
But why would you not enter in? I mean, it doesn't have to. It's not
completely separate timeline.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a separate timeline from the old series. It is not canon in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't stick to the plot line of the old universe, and it's not in the new universe. If you're going to make your own little timeline, stick in the guys from the really popular one, and you get people that are like, I remember Star Trek. I liked that show. Give me a cheeseburger,
Offering cheeseburgers with your.
Are the Patriots playing yet? Oh yeah.
Well, I don't think they're going for the. They're still going for gamers. Most gamers can name Star Trek. I was just thinking about.
Surprised.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
It's
usually not surprised. It's usually disappointing.
You haven't read the Kotaku threads where you're like, really? You don't know what that is?
Yeah. Really?
So, Roger, do you have any inkling for this game at all?
That would require me to be able to play an MMO.
You own a computer.
Yes, but you need certain types of computer in order to play.
You have boot camp.
Yes, I have boot camp. That would require me to have to take those systems home to play.
Well, you can play it at work.
Well, only after
your store's going to be closed soon.
That's not going to be that close.
It's really going to be pretty close.
Well, no, I could potentially do it then, but still, I've got an.
You can just sit at home, and or you can sit at work and going. You get your little models, you're flying them around. Mailman comes by and looks at it and is like, okay, here's your mail, and see you later, Captain.
Good journey there, buddy.
Here's my imaginary battle against it's the Star Trek Enterprise and Captain Harlock's ship.
Yes, Captain Harlock in charge of the Enterprise.
I know that's a fanfic somewhere.
Hey, that was the idea that one of my friends had for Voyager. It's like Janeway should have just painted a pirate flag on the ship and said, "Screw the Federation."
That would require
unknown territory.
That required Janeway to be a good character and ably acted at that.
We've got a message from the Voyager. Voyager was lost for like 100 years ago. What is it? What's a picture of? We've identified it as Janeway's ass.
Yeah, it's a photocopy of Janeway's ass sent through subspace.
Is that a subspace anomaly?
Yeah, the subspace vortex.
It's a black hole from
it's
which
sucking
you can never
us all
escape.
in.
So I'm assuming that you're not
from,
going to be picking up Star Trek Online day one and trying to get online.
It seems like it'd be a bad idea. It really seems like it would be something where you're like, can I log in now? No.
So you're going to wait 30 days, download a bunch of patches.
You only usually have to wait about a week and a half.
Oh, okay.
Because if you wait about a week and a half,
well, this is Atari, so I don't know what their track record is.
Well, I don't know if Atari is actually I doubt Atari is actually doing the technical stuff on the back end. I think they're just the publisher.
So who wants to bet the Kotaku headlines for this? The next morning,
1,300
server
people
explodes
Yeah.
and
13. I remember that from frickin' Warcraft, where if you tried to log in, it was like 1,300 people in line in front of you before you got logged in.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Can't be fully logged in until you've been assimilated.
It's like go make a sandwich because you're not getting into the game right now.
No, the first Kotaku thread's going to be, hey, look, Sony Online's bought it.
Oh God.
Some jokes aren't funny.
would Paramount let them do that?
It'd be Borg versus Borg.
Paramount, but Paramount owns the license to the game, or to Star Trek, but they're not really involved in the game itself. So, I mean, Warner Brothers let Sony Online Entertainment buy the Matrix Online.
No, this is true.
So
This is
I
true.
saw no potential in it whatsoever.
And Star Wars.
Yeah, well, but I'm just. I thought Star Wars was 20th Century Fox.
Yeah. Sony Online Entertainment still bought it.
I think Sony just likes
Sony Online
money on
Entertainment
things
is
they're never going to do anything with. In hopes it boosts their
well,
own games.
SOE hasn't done a whole lot lately. They've really kind of fallen off the face of the earth for some reason.
If you
I think
really
they've
want to
sucked
have
up,
fun, some MMO needs to, have you walk into an area and it's the Sony graveyard.
Yeah.
Here's all of the games that died.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like to think that they're all working on Gran Turismo 5.
There's actually video of it now.
I've heard, but I've yet to see it.
No, it's on. It was on Kotaku. They were showing in-game video from CES for.
I'm
Gran
really
Turismo
curious
5.
to see what's going to happen with that, because one of the big things they said with the PSP and the PS3 was there's going to be interchangeable content where you can shift cars back and forth, or one gives cars to the other. So I'm curious to see what happens with that.
At this point, I would just worry about if the game's actually coming out before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been waiting how long for this game now?
Well, shit, it's like
3
Prey.
years.
Well, Prey came out though.
Yeah. After it was announced in '98, came out in like 2005.
Well, it still came out.
Hey,
Yeah.
better than Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
the
just
fact that
reading the Penny Arcade cartoon. It has the milk carton that says "Have you seen me?" and it says "Prey" on it.
Yeah.
That's from like '97.
Yeah.
So my question is, okay, when do they go from boobs to tits or breasts to tits? Speaking of Penny Arcade.
When you put the bag balm on it.
Just keep milking it.
Yeah.
Really, huh?
Bag balm. I really don't. I really didn't understand that.
That's some great sound effects there, Lou.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that comic anyway. I'm like, they're synonyms, so I don't really get this joke from panel one. But
Well, Roger, you're the expert on this. Is there a difference between breasts and tits?
no. It's like, is there a difference
Not-
between boobies and breasts? No.
Roger's
Maybe if you're
thinking, actually.
maybe if you're
Well,
maybe if
What's
you're
less
writing
dirty
literature,
sounding?
but
Yeah.
in reality, you're referring to the same damn thing. They both got nipples on them.
Boobies is just more fun to say.
Well, so is tits.
Boobies.
Breasts are kind of clinical.
Yeah, and you could be talking about chickens. You could be talking about.
Could we talking about food?
Yeah.
Well, in both cases, you're talking about stuff that you want to put in your mouth. So, I mean,
You're talking
Still-
about things that can give you
Don't forget about-
salmonella. I mean, come on.
Don't be sticking it. Don't forget you're talking about things you want to stick your head in between and say Britsky.
never
Diehard
Never
Gamer
wanted to
Radio
do
does
that
not
at
recommend that you do
KFC,
this.
man.
Oh my God! Well, not at KFC, but
Yeah.
I had to just try that once, and it was pretty funny. She played along, so
I thought maybe you're at a church's chicken.
not quite.
You have to
But
wipe
I really
off all
likes-
the grease off your head.
That guy really likes his white meat.
So,
I don't know if he's blessing it or.
to reiterate, there's no difference between breasts and tits
or boobies
or boobies.
or breasticles.
I think it's just depending on what part of the state you're in.
You think it's a regional thing?
Oh yeah. Grew up in Brooklyn.
I think
it's
this
tits.
stuff's universal.
No. Steve's saying no. Not a regional thing. Just breasts.
Well, regional as in right up here, you know.
Versus the
Where
nether
else
region.
would they be?
Down the knees.
Yeah, that's the nether
Those
region.
aren't breasts anymore.
No, there's not.
Well, that's a
soap
subspace
sacks.
anomaly.
All the
Somebody gets
laws
stuck
of
in a-
time and space have broken down.
Somebody got stuck in a gravity well.
Yeah.
That or a toilet bowl, I don't know.
So, Steve, how's Huxley coming along?
I've got no idea.
Okay.
I got no idea about jump gate evolution either. I
Okay.
haven't heard a damn thing about it. Matt hasn't pasted me anything in a while. So it's the only reason I hear about that damn game anymore.
Oh, okay.
Sometime in 2015.
Oh, after the end of the world?
When space travel is actually a reality, we'll get jump gate evolution. We'll be like, oh, check out this historical epic.
Based off actual historical events.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yes, it will be jump gate evolution. Yes, it'll be a history lesson.
Yeah. Jump gate creationism.
Yeah.
Jump gate young Earth creationist.
So, anyway.
It's over
You too can
6,000.
earn citizenship.
It's under 6,000.
Okay. So, anything else you want to add, Steve?
Nope.
All right.
Got nothing.
Okay. Anything you got, Raj?
Got nothing.
And Brian's already done.
And Murdock's got nothing that a nice penicillin shot won't do.
Yeah. Hey, it won't cure itself.
Right
If you
in the tits.
excise it.
Yeah.
Get yourself a what you call it,
Crucifix, some holy water,
and a scalpel.
And a scalpel.
Yeah.
It's fat.
Oh.
All right. So, thank you for listening to Diehard Clinical Radio.
Join us next time when
For-
the doctor will say.
It's not lupus.
Join us next time when Nurse Piggy will say. Told you it wasn't lupus.
Oh.
That would be a really bad Statler.
No, if you join us next time when Dr. Rabbit says it's lupus, not lupus.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.